Okay, today I'm going to teach you the keyword outline, and I think this is the best tool that I have to help you with retrieval practice. And so we're talking about memory this week and how it works and how we can memorize things and make our brains more effective. And also about procedural versus declarative memory. So what I want to show you how to use the keyword outline. That's what I want to show you today. I am going to model creating a keyword outline for chapter 5. You, for homework, are going to create a keyword outline for chapter 6. Okay? So yours will look similar, but will have different information in there. So what I've done already is read through chapter 5 carefully, and I have a list of things, just a little sticky note, of the things that stood out to me in the chapter that the chapter is about, right? Most of these things are bold or title things, but I want to make sure on here, because it's going to become apparent on my keyword outline, that I know what these things are. So when I wrote down acronyms, I know what that is. If I didn't know what that was, I would need to give myself some more information there. And I'm just going to kind of use this to create my official keyword outline. Essentially, this is kind of like a keyword outline, but it was just the notes that I was jotting as I was reading. Okay, so let's look at that keyword outline. Okay, on the first line here, you are going to write the topic of that chapter. Okay, the topic of the chapter is what the whole chapter is about. It's usually the title. Okay, so our chapter title was memory and how to use it, how to memorize. I am going to try not to look at my book. Okay, so I'm going to put it over here, away. I can check it later. I can check my keyword outline later. The benefit that you get from the keyword outline is the retrieval practice. And if I don't put my book away, I won't actually know what I know and what I don't know. Okay, so put your book away. We're going to put memorize. Okay, so the keyword outline. The thing is, you can only have 3 words per line, but you can have as many symbols, pictures, whatever that you want to have on here. Per line. Those don't count against you, just words, but you can only have 3 words per line. So on the first line, I'm going to put memorize, and then really, like, when I think about the whole thing, the whole chapter is about memorize, and what is it saying about memorize? It's saying that it's important. And why is it important? It's important because it's there when we need it. Right, she talked about how, like when we're learning a new language or something like that, that if we don't have the word in our head, then we can't come up with it when we need it, okay? My kids right now are memorizing the multiplication tables, and that information is going to always be in their head when they need it, right? So if someone asks them what's 7 times 4, they can come up with 28, or they have a little song and they could, count out 7, 14, 21, 28. So anyway, but that's what her point is. Why do we need to memorize? Because memorizing has kind of gone out of vogue in education. It's important because it's there when we need it. So let's see. My last word is going to be need, I guess. Okay, so those are my, so I can go back up there. Okay, those are my 3 words. I can come up with a topic sentence based on those 3 words. It's important that we memorize things because the information is there when we need it. Okay, so moving on through the chapter, she talked about memory tricks. memory tricks. And then what do? They help us. Sorry, I can't think of any numbers or symbols yet. Okay, so the first one that she talked about was acronyms. So the one that I remember with acronyms is PEMDAS or ROY, G, BIV. She didn't talk about those, but that's what they are, right? So as I'm talking about what acronyms are, that will just help me remember what those are. And then she talked about sentences. And this one is a unit, so I'm going to put it all together. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so that's the sentence that comes to my mind when I'm talking about the sentence memory trick. You might have a different one in there. I can't really think of anything else that I'd like to say on that sentence. Then she talked about an image. The one she gave was the moon, and it was a 69, like yin and yang. But I don't remember what that meant about the moon, which means it was not a very effective memory tool for me, but I can still talk about what image is and what it's supposed to do. And then she talked about memory palace, and she used the periodic table. In that memory palace, and then metaphors like the chains for the neurons, and was there another? I can't remember any other metaphors. That'll be fine for now. Okay. All right, and then I get to my clincher, and what I want to do when I write that part, because I am writing my keyword outline and then I'm going to make it into a sentence. But I have my clincher and it repeats 2 or 3 words from the topic sentence. So now I would take all of these and make it into a paragraph, right? That would help me remember what the text was about. And that's what I want you to do here. After you do your keyword outline, you're going to write a 1-paragraph summary over chapter 6. And again, this is just going to help us consolidate that memory, that new information, and will make it easier to retrieve later because I have really thought about it. Now, she's already talked about this, but we have to use active reading strategies. We have to be working while we're studying. If the studying is not effortful, then it is not going to work for you. Okay, I have to restructure my brain essentially every time I want to learn something. And so if I'm not doing something that feels effortful, I'm not restructuring my brain. The information is not going to stay in my brain. It's not going to be able to be retrieved later. So this may feel a little bit more involved than what you normally do when you're reading a chapter and talking about it in class, but it will help you make sure that you know what you're doing. And I did, took some initial notes and I looked back at these as I was making my keyword outline, but I haven't gone back and looked at the original text. And that is all in my memory.